La Casa de Papel, Money Heist, Now You See Me, Lupin, and the Great Heist. These are some of the movies and TV series that tell the stories of unbelievable heists planned by masterminds. Well, that kind of robbery isn't just fiction. Throughout history, a notable number of legendary and mind-blowing heists have taken place. Some of the mysteries behind those heists have been solved, while others remain a mystery to the day. But the vastness of the planning and robbery itself remain unforgettable to anyone who has heard about them. Let's dive into the thrilling stories of the greatest heists of all time who defied all logic known to humankind. Banco Central Robbery. To start, we have the Banco Central Robbery, which took place in August 2005 in Fortaleza, Brazil. The fascinating thing about the heist is how they dug a tunnel 256 feet long to get underneath the bank. The robbery was even recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records as the greatest bank robbery in the world. A Brazilian gang of 25 members planned the heist for 3 months. They rented a commercial property near the branch of Banco Central Bank of the city and set up a landscaping business. It was a great cover for all the soil being removed from the tunnel. The tunnel was so well built that it even had its own lighting and air conditioning system. Once they entered the bank through the tunnel, they made off with over 150 million Brazilian reals, which was about $70 million at the time of the heist. The number of notes was assumed to weigh approximately 3.5 tons. The robbery was only found on Monday after the weekend that it took place. Among the 25 members involved in the heist, only 8 were ever arrested. Some, like Luis Fernando, supposedly the mastermind of the robbery, met with tragic endings. However, only 20 million reals were recovered from the heist, and the rest remains unaccounted for. Northern Bank Heist. One of the greatest robberies of all time took place in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and it's dubbed the Northern Bank Heist. A group of robbers in masks broke into the houses of 2 bank executives of Northern Bank in Belfast on December 20th, 2004. They held the families of the 2 bank executives, Chris Ward and Kevin McMullen, hostage and threatened to kill them if 2 of them didn't aid the robbers in the theft. So, the next day, as per the orders from the robbers, Ward and McMullen arrived at the bank without showing any change of behavior. When the bank closed that evening, the 2 men remained and opened the vaults for the robbers. As recorded in one of the CCTV cameras, Chris Ward was made to carry a sports bag filled with cash to a member of the gang waiting with a vehicle for their getaway. The robbers stole an estimated amount of 26.5 million sterling pounds in cash, which was around $42.5 million at the time. The stolen notes included both used and unused notes. The blame for the robbery was placed on the IRA. However, only 1 man was arrested for the robbery, but he denies any allegation of the crime and was charged with money laundering. Despite the several inclinations that the heist was an inside plan, whoever is responsible for it hasn't been charged so far. United California Bank Heist. The next heist on the list took place in Laguna Niguel, California, USA. The robbery is famed as the United California Bank Heist and transpired in 1972. The heist was planned on a tip that Richard Nixon, the president of the USA at the time, had set aside $30 million as illegal funds for campaigns in the United California Bank. The leader of the 6-member team responsible for this theft was Emil Dincio, a criminal originally from Ohio. He gathered some family members, including his brother and nephew, as well as a couple of other men, and flew to California. There, they bought a townhouse where they used to plan the heist. The team of robbers blew a hole in the bank's roof to get into it and disabled the bank's alarm system by surfboard repair foam inside the main alarm system. They spend their time leisurely going through the vault on the weekend they chose for the robbery. They collected cash and other valuables worth $30 million and fled the crime scene after diligently cleaning out the townhouse as well. However, the group of robbers were captured by the FBI using fingerprints found at the townhouse and a taxi driver whom they had tipped quite well. Did the money belong in President Nixon's private stash? That's a question unanswered to the day. British Bank of the Middle East. The last robbery on the list of greatest robberies of all time is the British Bank of the Middle East robbery. The heist took place in January 1976 amid the Lebanese Civil War. The group of robbers entered the British Bank of the Middle East in Beirut, blasting the wall that was shared with a Catholic church using explosives. They brought professional locksmiths with them to open the vaults. The estimated amount of the robbery is about $44.5 million in cash, as well as gold bars, jewelry, stock certificates, and other valuables. The heist is recorded as the largest robbery of safe deposit boxes that ever occurred in the Guinness Book of World Records. Now, the value of the stolen loot is approximately 3 times its value when the robbery took place in 1976, and it was never recovered, and none of the robbers were ever arrested. These robberies showcase the audacity, ingenuity, and sheer nerve of individuals who dared to challenge the limits of law and order. These heists, each more daring than the last, blur the line between criminality and cunning, leaving us in awe of the meticulous planning and execution involved. Yet beneath the surface lies a deeper reflection on the consequences of greed and ambition, as even the most brilliant schemes are rarely without flaws.